The Unrecorded Interview, History Documentary Series.
1887 was the year of the Golden Jubilee, a London of waltzes and diamonds. But in the shadow, beneath the bronze lions of Trafalgar Square, another city slept. A city of 8,500 souls abandoned to the cold stones. Tonight, we face the archetype of evil. Coming up in this exclusive interview, the Shadow of Whitechapel will finally address the From Hell letter and reveal the one fatal mistake that almost led the police to his door. Don't go anywhere. For the sake of our audience, I will call you by the name history gave you, Jack the Ripper.
You may use it, but I never liked that title. As the FBI correctly stated, that name was merely a creation of an enterprising journalist to sell papers. I am the anatomist of the night.
FBI profiler John Douglas calls you a murderer. He says your surgical precision is a myth and that you had no more skill than a common butcher.
Douglas sees the meat. I saw the map. I didn't need a degree to know where the life thread was hidden in the dark.
Let's talk about Mary Ann Polly Nichols. She came from the street of ink. You attacked her in a blitz-style frenzy. Douglas notes this suggests you were an inadequate man.
Polly was just a rough sketch. I had to silence the vessel quickly to begin my work. It wasn't fear, it was the hunger of the experiment.
The autopsy of Nichols was brutal. Dr. Llewellyn noted the throat was the spinal column. Did you intend to decapitate her?
I intended to open the door to her interior. The spine was simply the limit of the steel. I was learning the resistance of human clay.
Then came Annie Chapman. Her fall was even steeper, from a luxury estate to a cold backyard. Dr. Phillips noted you removed her uterus with specialized knowledge.
In the silence of Hanbury Street, I became the master of her internal power. Removing the seat of creation is an act of ownership, not fear.
Dr. Phillips also noted that you placed her intestines over her shoulder. This seems more like a ritual display than a simple crime. Why?
The internal geometry must be visible to be appreciated. I was rearranging the chaos she carried inside into a new, silent order.
On the night of September 30th, you killed Elizabeth Stride in Dutfield's yard, but her body was not mutilated. Did Louis Diemschutz interrupt your art?
The pony shied, and the wheels of his cart whispered of the law. I had to leave her as a half-finished sentence. My hunger was only sharpened by that interruption.
That frustration led to the double event. Less than an hour later, you found Catherine Eddowes in Mitre Square. Was she the victim of your unleashed rage?
Rage is too loud a word. It was a debt that Whitechapel owed me. I took her face because the night demanded a payment for my lost time.
Mr. Kosminski, since for several reputable researchers, you are Aaron Kosminski. Napoleon Bonaparte was with us recently. He said, "Great men are never cruel without necessity." Was your butchery a necessity for your art, or are you just a small, evil man?
Napoleon's necessity was an empire of dirt. My necessity was an empire of nightmares. He used cannons. I used a long-bladed knife. We both wanted to be immortal. My art has outlived his run.
Let's address your fatal mistake. That night you dropped a piece of Catherine Eddowes' apron in Goulston Street. Did the darkness finally fail you?
The V on her face required me to wipe my hands. I was careless. The shadow I lived in almost touched the light of the law.
Above that apron was the graffito. The Jews are the men that will not be blamed for nothing. For our audience, referred to the community. Did Sir Charles Warren save you by erasing it?
Warren was a fool who feared a riot more than he sought the truth. He wiped away my only message to the city. He preferred the silence of a clean wall.
Early in the investigation, the police searched for Leather Apron, identifying him as John Pizer. Was this the kind of misdirection you enjoy?
Picer was a man of leather and smell. They looked for a monster they could see, while I was the neighbour they chose to ignore. The perfect mask is a common face.
Inspector Swanson and Anderson were convinced you were Aaron Kosminski, a Polish Jew living in the heart of Whitechapel.
They were looking for a chivo expiatorio to calm the masses. Names like Kosminski are just labels for the meat. I remained the phantom they could never cage.
Joseph Lawender saw a man with Catherine Eddowes minutes before her death. John Douglas notes a suspect in the Asylum was described as docile. Does that fit you?
Precisely. But doesn't sit quietly in the workhouse. Shadows do not wait for permission to return to the night.
Let's talk about the genuine communication, the from hell letter. Half kidney soaked in wine. Was this your true face?
Lusk and his vigilance committee were playing at being heroes. I gave him a piece of hell to digest. It was a truth too heavy for their small minds.
John Douglas classifies you as a murderer. He argues your butchery was a pathetic, desperate need for control. Why did you really kill?
Douglas seized the label. I saw the necessity. By removing the seat of creation, I was de-equipping the power that terrified me. I made them mine forever.
You spoke of a justified cleaning of the streets. Do you really believe you were doing London a service?
Society had already abandoned them to the cold stones. I merely accelerated the inevitable, turning their invisible lives into an eternal legend.
After the murder of Mary Jane Kelly, you stopped. Why? Did the man in you finally kill the monster?
The anatomist simply finished his masterpiece, or perhaps the walls of an asylum, or the cold of a grave chose my retirement. The monster doesn't die, it just sleeps.
In Miller's Court, you spent 2 hours with Kelly. Douglas calls it a furious mania. Why was she the peak of your years?
In that room, she became an explosion of red. I held her heart, and for one moment, the hunger was satisfied. The masterpiece was finished.
They were more than empty shells, Mr. Kosminski. To restore their dignity is to remember that you did not prostitutes. You mothers and sisters.
History is my witness. The fear I planted still grows in every dark alley. The shadow remains long after the man is gone.
He leaves as he came, a phantom of Victorian fog. Jack the Ripper remains the archetype of evil, a reminder that the most terrifying monsters are those we can never truly name. If you want to see how another legendary ego justifies his actions, watch our interview with Napoleon Bonaparte. The link is in the description. Leave a comment with the next legend you want to see. See you next week. Goodbye.
The Unrecorded Interview. History Documentary Series.